Eternal Fire do to stop that today?
Setting up a B play here. You can already see Brave pushing out, C Mound looking to take that passive control as well as the Tail holding on towards A, but the B is where they strike first, Pacific, and they've already got that entry kill.
Same positions taken up by Pacific as they did on the last pistol round. On the attack side,
Spike
when they
down
creep
A.
back towards A again, it's Cider X there waiting for them. Big 1v1 about to happen in the middle of the map, but as LaRock gives it up, he's walking into trouble. Brave's coming around the back lines as the plant comes in.
Loiter tapping the spike on A, was able to TP past the trap, but can't TP past Izzy. Comeback now.
Dying off as they did before, but smoked out towards Waterfall. This is Eternal Fire's chance.
Paranoia in, that's been kept in pocket the full round. Loiter's trying to play aggressive, and while Brave is round the back, Anima from up top will fall. BBL Pacific get the pistol.
It's always the most advanced of all the players on the Eternal Fire side, whichever side of the map it ends up being. Typically C, they've exploited that now. Back through the door, instead it's the Fire that will go. Kushner put down immediately. It's on to Brave. He's got to do so much, but Loiter cuts it out for him. Snappy they've been to try and take early engagements. Eternal Fire will walk away from this with just the one weapon for now. Cider's lost his head. Creven execute, and as I said before, they weren't too direct in the last. This time, they are rapid in pace.
Loiter towards CT,
Brilliant.
the Rolling Thunder. Just making sure Izzy's moving into an uncomfortable position, capitalisation, and now Brave, you can see he's thinking about it. He wants to go at this, his TP isn't great, Kushner's ult is. Back to a 4 versus 4 as the spike goes down.
Nice set piece to open up the site for them. Loiter going for the Vanya TP, but his aggression unrelenting. Another Turkish legend, yet he falls in this situation. Combo back through, big investment Eternal Fire. They need this round, and while Rose dropping is certainly going to help them, still a 2-on-2. Creven's flipped the odds against them once more. The biggest rival that they've faced in the server so far, biting from within. Creven again, lending yet another round.
Look to go, I mean, you've got the late lock coming through B main. And well, Anima tries to spam out, delay through the aftershock, the breach bomb doesn't quite work, his comeback is sending it through, Creven under siege, can't quite win out against Brave, and now BBL Pacific are in a tough spot that they'll need to try and brawl out from. It's Rose using the Hunter's Fury, but it's the overwatch of the rest of the BBL Pacific players. A guaranteed advantage on the next half, you'd probably imagine John Sip will want to talk to his players. Kushner trying to keep it the in hand and can't do it. That is more damage to Eternal Fire's hopes.
Perspective.
Too suppressed.
Too suppressed, oh, and that's the go button pressed firmly. And there's only a momentary stall. Two players stuck in the corner. There's not much in terms of resistance here. Or so you thought. Oh my god, BBL Pacific. Just when you think Eternal Fire can go hard here, can finally get a chance.
Serious callback, but so many times they've crossed paths over the years. So you've always got to feel confident. But Eternal Fire have not had the beginning to this day in the office that they would have liked, and something's got to change. Comeback is consistent. Anima decapitated. Loiter laying it on thick as Cider will finally respond with just one kill, but that will not be enough. He needs more and can't get it. Holders to see if he can bear the weight of this round. Is he saving? They've hedged their bets. But even to that end, Brave knows when he's beaten. Izzy's ducking back in for a little bit of supportive fire. This is double digits though, Cairo, and the rifle round to boot. So lose 13-0, and not to tempt fate too early, but if time is truly cyclical, into tree now as BBL Pacific are happy to just get back in the saddle and go for another execute.
3 players from Eternal Fire here, and they've got the first 2 picks as well. A TP from Brave will support the kits here as well. Doesn't have utility to work with, Creven, but he does have the rifle which he has been shooting with.
Oh, Creven missed shots. That could have been the way back into the round and decrease the deficit. It was a 5v3 when it started. Eternal Fire lost one of those on their bonus last time out, but here, surely not between Rose and Loiter.
I mean, I wouldn't count them out though. Pings coming through, information gain, and Loiter once again! A player who was able to clutch up last time, and ace, but it's only for this! time.
Not just give it to him right now.
Rose has been brought unbelievably low. Brave looking to try and get something and gets more than what is expected. And now the showstopper and can't even get shot off. We're back to a 3 versus 3.
Another one strung from the gallows. It was a 5 versus 3, Cairo. Again, 2 rounds consecutive. And that's what it will take for BBL PCIFIC to potentially lock in 12 inside the opening half. I do not believe what I've seen to that game. And I tell you what, might just find themselves waiting to find their first round when Split arrives. BBL PCIFIC getting ready to go aggressive. The spike is here and so are the players. Eternal Fire finally respond through QT and Anima, but it comes down to the captain to deny what will be.
I'm looking towards him though, Hazza.
And that might just be the gift that Cider requires, the double stack, but do they react? Timing is everything, and BBL PCIFIC, their time is now! 13-0 was all it took.
Well, that spike goes down and the post plant is set up. I'm looking to look towards the extremities of the site.
And with this change to Omen, you have that paranoia as well. You're not thinking as much about the post plant. You probably want to try and get a little bit aggressive. Already you see Brave walking up screen.
Loiter needs to be careful, comes straight up and wins the fight. So does LaRock. That was the breach player that was playing from main for late utility to support the site when it came through. As the players hit the site though, they're getting hit hard with bullets, but they can hit back even harder. Another pistol round for PCIFIC.
Nade on a quick rotation, paranoia's there. BBL PCIFIC to hold their ground.
Kushner has got towards the backside, and those players who were blinded, not anymore. As soon as those eyes come back to look
towards the A side of the map. Quick one-way put up by Cruin. Opens up the cage. But Eternal Fire advancing and swiftly. Creven safe pair of hands. And Loiter, a lick of damage onto Anima. Hadn't finished, no. Pistols clap back all of a sudden. Eternal Fire have numbers. They have a 3 versus 1. Larrick is stunned inside the smoke, and while the flick lands for the first, the more shot hits. Only 10 HP though. Still a chance for LaRock. Bated breath, he peeks around the corner. Next player here is Izzy. Last one off for Anima. As low as he is. It's actually hit the stun onto Izzy, so while he didn't spot him, does now take the information in tow. Eternal Fire with mid-space, something they've not encountered all too often. But now in trying to marry the ideas together, BBL PCIFIC go flying into their face and manage to break one of the arms of Marriage.
The 2 players moving through heaven need to be able to get a pick here.
Power push coming in, they've relied on Brave in Garage a lot of times so far.
He needs it, has 2 flashes as well for Anima.
Nade on LaRock is the one bit of utility that could get you excited, and that's because it's played in comeback. Op shot lands. Brave's thinking about a peek. Has to hold his nerve. Loses his head in the process instead, and it's another Anima clutch situation. Thrust into this position, forced to face the music, finds the first of the kills and on to comeback. He has won this duel before. He will win it again. The lifeline that was needed. Gives control to Eternal Fire, but it's swiftly being rescinded, eroded away through Garage, as you can see. Creven and Loiter both pushing up. Rose needing impact, getting it. The captain doing what he does best, leading by example. While the crunch is going to come in and remove him from the situation.
Eternal Fire are going though. There's a cypher towards CT here. Comeback knows about it.
It's a 1v1. He goes for the no-scope into the next fight. Classics burst against each other. And as they lock horns, it's on to Loiter once more, but his chance. That Seeker's just committed as well for a little bit of extra information. Izzy was the only player here, so a chance to isolate. Anima supporting elsewhere. The stun's still not enough. Rose going down solo, but has brought a big opportunity for his 2 duelist players. Only one can capitalize. That will be comeback, but even his best effort falls short of the mark. So Eternal Fire go into post with numbers.
Tries to commit to the way that BBL PCIFIC have been playing Loiter.
Hello.
Behind Kushner. And we're back to 2v2. The ultimate invested from the Tejo. And Creven somehow escaped it. Escaped the line of sight of Cider as well. In a 1 versus 2. There's 2 TPs which Loiter can perhaps use himself, but no, would rather play the 2v1. Play with his teammate. They've cleared all the way to elbow and got onto the spike. Already halved. Loiter looks away and allows Cider a chance. But he doesn't able to capitalize.
Perfect time.
As the smoke comes in, this will be the information that they're looking for. Kreven towards that elbow. Paranoia placed to perfection, and Kushner doesn't get the chance. The combination from the side player and the Heaven player is spot on. 2 players left on Eternal Fire. Anima being one who's able to usually duel Eternal Fire out of sticky situations.
Position for BBL PCIFIC to try and convert in post. Do Eternal Fire go searching again, or will they get punished? Do they get a chance? Izzy snipes him out the sky.
And Rolling Thunder investing straight off the back. They're looking to play in towards CT and come back. I mean, he's only got 1 back. Needs more. Certainly looks to be able to do this.
So Comeback is thinking about the opportunity of clawing one of these kills away. It's Anima that he's going to get. Cider dropping salvos. Can be so key in opening these rounds for Eternal Fire. With Tower already taken away, they're closing in from both ends. Loiter to come in late, but for now, the site must stand. Comeback collecting the first of those kills, and behind the cage, the rest of the team get inside. Loiter finding another double, and while Eternal Fire will respond, the resistance is futile. The list which will get Comeback to spot the ankle of Brave. Paranoia for a peek. They know the op is advanced here. The showstopper over the top, finding him. Still needs to isolate Kreven, the discipline. Oh! Kushner clears it! He just had an idea that the Cypher might be creeping around. The trick's too well. 5v3. And now that Izzy has his vision back, Eternal Fire are back in the driver's seat. 5 rounds picked up. A strong start. And with all 5 players in Garage, there is a reaction for this with utility.
Again, we've seen Eternal Fire play these traps before. They haven't worked, but it looks like this one is. Need in, can it get Kreven? Well, Cider certainly can. Already a distinct advantage and having to rescue back a spike. Anima's pushing forwards to think about.
This is exactly what Eternal Fire needed, though. The pistol previously was given that information back. 30 seconds or less to try and get this one done, and Brave should be ready. Still, Comeback is just quick enough.
I mean, they keep gifting Comeback 1v1s. That's not what you want to do. A dash into sight. I mean, he still managed to get another. I mean, it makes it...
In both teams' preparation for this game, there was so much conditioning mid last time. Now you're just seeing fights taken on both extremities. Eternal Fire winning the early ones means that they have a great A setup to just stop the rest of the push when it comes through. In an isolated area, Kushner has come in for support, and with the drone finding nothing A, they have a stack.
The players, I mean, they need to win the duels first. Kushner's Outlaw does well. Has to go on to the Classic and still gets another. Kreven, though, getting rid of Brave is a big kill towards the front of sight, because that's a rifle that can easily be picked up. The spike has been forfeited, though, and Loiter needs to somehow find a way to get back onto sight to get that spike down. Kreven's rifle is the one that's doing the damage, trying to spam through, and he even invested the neural theft. Eternal Fire.
Things to head in a better direction now. Dog into mid as we're seeing this fight taken by them yet again. Anima beyond the smoke. Gets the kind of first kill that Eternal Fire would have been dreaming of the last time they played this.
Still the traps survive, which is given that passive information to Eternal Fire. As he repositioning towards CT, gets Rose, and now the last 2 remaining.
Eternal Fire need to be a little bit more heads up in terms of these angles. You've still got Anima waiting in the wings. From Vent, he can very quickly activate with a full utility belt. Kreven, nothing left on his person. Very little will you see them split it, so just Rose with the Seekers in Vent, stunned up. Cider wins the fight, and with the first of those duelists gone on this re-engage to the site, the first Inquisition that they make through main, Eternal Fire happy to invest the Armageddon to confirm the round that everyone dies.
A rallying cry for the last remaining 30 seconds of the round, but Comeback has 2 players to fight before he can save this rifle.
And he's not going to get a chance to beat either of them.
Showstopper and Larocque. Something that could push players back, but it comes down to these duels, and already Eternal Fire have got the first. Larocque, this rocket doesn't hit. uncharacteristically, but the salvos do, and Cider looks to grab Eternal Fire.
Series can put to bed all of the bad news that they've received from BBL up until this point. Cushion has done brilliant work to send them in motion, but can't close the final by himself just yet.
Paranoia is not
Brave can't either.
Oh, it did hit.
BBL PCIFIC though, Anima has the stun, the aftershock to work with. Backs against the wall if you don't want this map to end here and now.
Wow, Cider's got 4, on for the ace to finish out the map, but I'm sure Eternal Fire will be just happy to find Loiter, a player who's managed to clutch up time and time and time again. There's no way, there's a chance he can do it once more, but it will not happen as he gets the last kill and Eternal Fire get their first map against BBL PCIFIC since the grand finals of Turkey.
Players versus 5, Eternal Fire outnumbered, but the setup should be enough.
Nice molly to deny the peek from backside, although comeback is already there. Brave needs to stand tall, but can't quite do it. And Kushner can't deal with the cage that's been put in front either. A nice line-up for a one-way, and now isolated because of the one-way towards CT. Able to fight his way out into a 3v1. Now Rose has to try and find the round, which he can. And after getting your first pistol round, you can find a pick before we can commit any ultimates towards this map, towards this round. Sorry. Shock, and it's spot on, and that's that one pick that we were talking about. At the same time, Krevin's walked all the way on towards B and unlocked it.
Way through Art, moving a step closer towards the ultimate of his own as Larrick is still holding on to this run it back. Just going to invest it to clear the cross, and now you don't expect Krevin to be close. Izzy has his own ult online. It's not going to come in at the right time! Once again, the gap in the armor, the B site post plant. Contact cannot be taken. Larocque instead fights forwards. Cushion have found, and with fire at the feet of the walk up to Hall, you just can't get into the site. And I sat inside Secret, about to double up and be 4 or 5. Retake coming in. All hands on deck for Eternal Fire.
Traded out equal at the moment. That AWP is still going to provide an issue to come back in on, but Kushner's rifle is providing an issue as well as the rest of Eternal Fire. Come into the site, you can see the Nightfall waiting to be used, and when it is used, a lot of players being hit there. The Haunt have been able to highlight, I think that was comeback, and Anima as well being supportive here. Now, the more players towards back of sight need to try and hold the line, but it's disconnected by the blaze wall of Larocque, and Krevin getting rid of Anima. We're down to 3v3, an operator which has to retake as well. Another thing to note, Cider caught, Larocque trying to re-clear back towards Art, make sure there's no flanks coming in, and Loiter even escaping towards main. Brave back in, Krevin still not thought about being able to take away the Astra utility, and now the op of the Yoru has to come up clutch, which it cannot.
Oh, you mean the attack?
Yeah, the attack cam, the attack cam.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
As you say, they got their drone in now, and come back.
Gun here.
Finding that kill on Art means that Eternal Fire extremely constricted. You wouldn't group for the B play, however. The one asterisk on this is the setup from Anima. With the weapons that they've got, you don't fancy the chances though. Despite Brave getting that one kill, I don't think it's going to be enough. And BBL PCIFIC are going to slow down the pace here as well with the traps, or maybe just run past them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can jump over traps like that, but you can't quite jump over the bullets that Anima is putting forward. Kushner is late back in, but he's picked up one of the rifles that was lost in Art.
Spike planted.
Being noted, thought about with the last remaining players all playing together, you can imagine, yep, it'll be as easy as that. Krevin now being put in a position in which he can lurk and thrive in the most.
Not seen Eternal Fire re-clear this space. They've just gone straight to the site retake. Izzy another on the Bulldog, but it's lost just as soon as QT fills the gap. Caught in this corner, has to be cleared. QT knows now, but it's left too little too late. Anima only with a Sheriff. Must be some top draw shots if he is to save them now. But
they know at least one player is there. Here we go, straight in.
Yeah, it's huge that they use that utility as well, because otherwise players could have rotated off. Brave standing his ground on the B site, but BBL PCIFIC responding kind. And the pre-fire from Loiter will finish off Izzy before he gets half his chance to make that response. Laboured from Loiter. Favors from BBL PCIFIC. And so as Anima stews in the silent site, he will be walking into Loiter to collect 4 kills. Now, need to hound down Brave by himself.
A little bit of delay coming through. The Astra utility, everybody's here now. The Blaze Wall. I somehow allowed Loiter to spam another player out. And there's still more damage coming their way. Eternal Fire can't hold their positions, or maybe they can. As BBL PCIFIC go one too far. And he talked about 50 kills. Well, it'll need to be 55 for Loiter to win this round. He's done it before.
An attempt to try and make it happen again here. Loiter creeping in the site, still yet to spot either player. Rounds the corner, should have been spotted by Anima, and is. Eternal Fire
Needs to hold fast. There's only 2 players here.
Loiter is one of them. Tournament MVP in line for that kind of credibility, but only 1 kill just doesn't cut it. Eternal Fire bouncing back into the second half. Cider is sharp.
Come back solo through
Spike
CT.
planted.
In fact, sorry, Laroc close by. They do have one flash in which to
Player
work with
standing.
one slide, but it goes a miss, and so do all the bullets. To be able to use the next TP.
Yeah.
For Izzy.
Visual clutter off the screen. Back turn Kushner whips around, head on a swivel. And the notice given by the smoke means that he has just enough time to set up. Loiter in the backside. Once again, we look to the 17-year-old to support the rest of BBL PCIFIC. Come back by his side, a potent pair, and the blend which battles back against the fire. The embers that remain of it. Brave to try and cut off a rotate. That is your biggest chance back into this one. And he has taken the first and the second.
But the thing is, though, is he's left an Anima all alone on site, which allowed Laroc to deny the spike plan.
Initial pushes.
Blocking vision.
Oh,
This is a difficult one, though. The split coming in.
Yeah, the players have been caught off guard. Rose just looks away. B site with comeback is support. And I mean, an Eternal Final want to come here. They certainly do. Using the ultimates to get in, it doesn't work out. The comeback sent it. Discipline not there, and Rose very, very low, crying for support of Kreven to come through CT. Already used the intel dart up, and Kreven activates at the right time. A 2 versus 2, make it 1 versus 2 for the captain to try and win. 2 shocks in which he can possibly use, but there's a shock to the system.
Response is there from Eternal Fire. The Cosmic Divide coming in as a statement of intent. The execution set in motion. Rose looking to try and respond. He's one of the first that can take the fight. He wins it. Phantom locking it down. And just a little pocket from him to play in. Laroc just the bait on the end of the string. Rose reeling in more success. And with Kreven in a comfortable position back sight behind their own ultimate placed by Eternal Fire. It's BBL PCIFIC had limited weaponry. Bad Worksman blames his tools. Even without his, Cider in a decent position. Contact taken. Laroc flashing back through.
Cam is still up. Kreven can use that as a retake cam to see where the players go.
He's in the walls, having a look. Util combo into the corner. Wasn't even required. It was just the molly and the spam from Kreven. Brave, without the gravity well, forced to use the stun instead. And as good as he is, and we know him to be, you're asking a little too much, maybe no. Down to the classic, time not enough. That's what will kill off the round in the end, and maybe just the map. BBL PCIFIC on the warpath now.
You are divided.
Last chance saloon, Eternal Fire. Need 4 more of these to force another overtime in which they've been credible so far. And it starts off as they exactly would have hoped. Still players lodged in backside. One of them Kreven. 4 players in front, still playing around the smoke, overlooked, but accounted for.
Able to be used, you'd imagine it's towards that. Yep, that's exactly the case. And Loiter knows all about it and has positioned himself on pillar.
brilliant clearance though, because
30
Izzy
seconds
TPing behind the ultimate in progress means that as the final bolt flares off from Rose's ult, he's not been caught. Still a man down though, Eternal Fire. Back into the retake. BBL PCIFIC with tools to work with. Stun, shocks, combos to send towards that default plant as soon as it is attempted. And Rose is the one that comes up with the big play. Side of the captain the opposite way. Smashed in the mirror duel by his opposite number. 13-10.
BBL PCIFIC. And there's 4 from Eternal Fire. 8 players on this side of the map, ready to brawl with one another, and still the first kill hasn't been struck until Izzy finally gets rid of Loiter. A nice little light up of a ping from the info dart, gets another, but Eternal Fire come back twofold. Now Krevin still holds on to the backside, a nice kill clean. Put Brave into the backside, catching Rose off guard. Remember, the last 3 pistol rounds have been won by Eternal Fire, and it looks like the 4th will do the same.
Just waiting for it to be confirmed to come in with Krevin on 2 points of health. Was not getting out of C-Link. PCIFIC though, Omen and Breach player in close proximity to this A site.
The shot was always a problem that Eternal Fire were able to go do against Mandatory, and they'll know exactly how to deal against it with BBL PCIFIC still not cleared, and still they're able to get value from it. Anima gets a rifle, but trying to bring it out is what costs them their lives. You don't even need to check, right? Try and attempt to spike plant, see if you can beat out where the players are from. Gets flashed, gets stunned, and gets caught out. Spike plant denied.
Really soon, but not enough to stop the play from coming in, so Paranoia's traded and still we're at deadlock. BBL PCIFIC then begin to flood back out through the cage, and as the curtain falls, so do the Eternal Fire players. Krevin, killer, cold, sharp with the aim. Looking to cut off rotation. Izzy actually sticking his neck out in mid to make this clear, so comeback will collect.
That's the big thing with numbers and the Rolling Thunder as well. Well, that suppression goes off. You see it already being brought out, used, come back, on for the ace. With 30 points of health, he knows exactly where to go. Cider all the way from long, and has already used the salvos. Not much in which to work with. Sure, there's a concussion grenade, but there's also a spray. Oh my god! Could come out of garage pretty easily as Izzy, as well as a drone, clears out the full of sight. Comeback though against Cider, wins out. We're back to 4v4.
It was the one weakness in terms of the setup, but when it comes to how you want to play this, BBL PCIFIC have been unbeatable in those retakes when they've had the opportunity.
Here comes the opportunity, but the opportunity goes. Rolling Thunder to delay. More time being bought by Eternal Fire. Trying to look elsewhere. You see Loiter starting to come through garage, but he's not going to get the opportunity. Neither is BBL PCIFIC. Straight back in. BBL PCIFIC know exactly where this is going to be, and the utility being used to try and delay Armageddon to clear out sight. And still Eternal Fire haven't made real inroads, and when they do, BBL PCIFIC explode!
Just as I was saying before time, however, and it's Krevin that we look to support them.
As he said, stunned, his hits. Still Krevin holds on to the backside. Comeback, walked into a backside that was infested with Eternal Fire players. The full B site is long, because there's already players starting to drift towards his position. Hear him dropping back and giving up. Positions on the side, so you thought. Caught in transition, and the rest of the players are here. What more can be said? You try and hit the brick wall, but the brick wall will stand tall. Now Cider. I mean, what has he even got to respond? The flawless round. And
Krevin back filling that space. Sewer control again, just so imperative to BBL PCIFIC's success, but that is where he will slide on down in line on A.
There's a Rolling Thunder as well to come through, and Larocque will not be able to escape this. Stuck in no man's land, but with the support of Loiter, that just unfortunately will not be good enough. Stunned out, forced out. It's up to you, Comeback, to save this round for PCIFIC.
Clears the first player. Izzy out in the open from one position up high to another. To just hope that a player will peek through. With Comeback Frenzy in hand, Wants to lever the odds in his favor. Get up close and personal. That's exactly what Kreven will do on the back line. Secure enough for now, but 3 players closing in. Back to the wall, inside his own cage. Kreven gets yet another kill with a BBL Classic in his hand.
How much time has he wasted? Look how much utility is still in the pockets of Pacific.
Flash coming through, and that's what will tee up comeback. Backside Rose holding the line. BBL Pacific have put pen to paper on a pistol round.
All that information that they've got there.
Completely giving up the A side, which leaves both Kushner and Brave in defense of this one. Former BBL players getting chased down by the next generation. Brave to stand his ground. That allows for Izzy to join up. The support is there. Oh, hello? Goodbye, Rose. It is drone. Oh Lord, this has happened. The over-rotation has given access to the A site. Kreven, the wedge right in the middle. This kill will be everything, and that is now the round. Top. Larok can lay this on thick. Aftershock does come in, but doesn't clear everything that they needed. It's a move in from the main side. Defender spawn 1v1. Larok wins it out to convert the bonus for BBL Pacific.
That's it, mate. Like, every time they meet, it only goes one way. It's been one-way traffic the full time. It's a reminder of focusing Apex, the way that used to always come about. Already the entry being caught by comeback, the op not discovered, finally it is dashed out. Izzy goes for a double peek, can't quite get the next, but he is noted by Kreven.
Player behind revealed, but Izzy standing in front, not standing tall enough. Anima a couple of kills, but still, it's Kreven who is standing, and Rose by his side. They'll keep moving forwards as BB is only just moving into the drone now.
Most players being tagged up, that's Anima, and the paranoia comes in at a perfect time. Trying to push and make BBL uncomfortable, but they seem to thrive whenever there's a chance. Kushner with the opportunity, and Brave Stinger will not hit. And he'll have to go up against Comeback's op before he's even able to get onto the site.
But in this key moment of the round, look at the discipline. Comeback waits.
1 round away from doing it all.
Comeback looking right between the doors, Brave. Big moment. We're going to need to see a whole lot more of that from Eternal Fire as BBL Pacific are almost home and dry. The derby not yet in the bag as Izzy claps back yet another. Loiter is still alive, still contributing kills. Larok's managed to slip through the net here. Ult clearing out both corners. Now they know Kushner 2 more, but still it's Loiter in another clutch situation. And with the spike on his back, he can TP. Which site is it? Eternal Fire only now know. Brave has a smoke, but that's now dropped into the connective position. So the spike back site is where he's expected to be headed.
Either, because there's 3 for Eternal Fire on this site, and 1's in Cubby. Anima holding on to utility.
Brave peeking off the back of it, stun separates, still finds the result. Rose's ult coming in as Overwatch. The rest of BBL Pacific played in by their captain. He holds the torch. Inter-regional event, but when BBL Pacific arrive, they are ready for it. Kings in waiting for their ascendancy to the throne. This might just be the year that the princes become king.